Hi everyone. Okay, video number 11 now of my DVD collection. There is a playlist on my channel as well, so you can follow along that way. Please like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Here we go. Lolita, this is the Adrian Lyne version of this, not the Stanley Kubrick one, this one with Jeremy Irons. Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer in The Lone Ranger. Chris Christopherson and Matthew McConaughey in John Sayles' Lone Star. This is now available via Criterion. Mark Wahlberg in Lone Survivor, directed by Peter Berg. And Melissa George in the climbing thriller A Lonely Place to Die. Katharine Hepburn in Eugene O'Neill's A Long Day's Journey into Night. And a sizzling performance from Paul Newman in The Long Hot Summer, directed by Martin Ritt. Excellent western from Walter Hill, The Long Riders. And Richard Widmark and Sidney Poitier in The Longships. An all-star cast in the war movie The Longest Day, directed by Ken Anakin. And Kurt Russell and Tim Matheson in the western The Longest Drive. Jim Broadbent and Samantha Morton in Longford. And a fun thriller, this one, adapted from a Michael Crichton novel and directed by Michael Crichton. This is Albert Finney in Looker. From director Ken Loach and featuring Eric Cantona, the footballer, this is Looking for Eric. And pretty good one this, written and directed by Scott Frank. This is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in The Lookout. Another early film from director Ken Loach, Looks and Smiles. And then a Looney Tunes movie collection DVD, which includes the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner movie. The Looney Tunes collection of cartoons. Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Rian Johnson's Looper. And from the Joseph Conrad novel, this is Lord Jim with Peter O'Toole and James Mason, directed by Richard Brooks. Ralph Bakshi's animated version of The Lord of the Rings. And then, yes, you guessed it, Peter Jackson's The Two Towers and The Return of the King. Fun Hammer one, this one, The Lost Continent. Hopefully Indicator will pick this one up. And then from David Lynch, this is Bill Pullman in Lost Highway. Directed by Frank Capra, this is Ronald Colman in Lost Horizon. I love this movie, Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. This is a limited TV series, Peter Krause in The Lost Room. Winona Ryder and Ben Chaplin in Lost Souls. And classic alcoholism drama, The Lost Weekend with Ray Milland. Steven Spielberg's The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Warren Beatty and Annette Bening in Love Affair, the remake of An Affair to Remember. From director Gina Prince Bythewood, this is Love and Basketball, also available through Criterion. Woody Allen and Diane Keaton in Love and Death. Kate Beckinsale and a really funny supporting role from Tom Bennett in Whit Stillman's Love and Friendship. Love this movie about the Beach Boys' Brian Wilson. This is Love and Mercy with John Cusack and Paul Dano. Great movie this as well. I've talked about this one before on my channel. This is Love and Pain and the Whole Damn Thing with Timothy Bottoms and Maggie Smith. And Jacqueline Smith and Corbin Burnson in the TV movie Love Can Be Murder. Fun British gangster movie, this one, with a bit of karaoke as well. This is Jude Law in Love, Honour and Obey. And Javier Bardem in Love in the Time of Cholera. From director Jacques Rivette, this is Love on the Ground. And the classic weepy love story with Ryan O'Neill and Ali McGraw. Tony Leung and Jane March in Jean-Jacques Arnaud's The Lover. And Jason Priestley and Adam Beach in Luna. Lucille Ball and Boris Karloff in Douglas Sirk's Lured. And from director Ang Lee, this is Tony Leung and Joan Chen in Lust and Caution. A Hammer movie, this one, directed by Jimmy Sangster. This is Lust for a Vampire. And Glenn Ford and Ida Lupino in Lust for Gold. Ian McKellen and Judi Dench in their early days in a stage-filmed adaptation of Macbeth. Mel Gibson and Tina Turner, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron in Mad Max Fury Road. Who's excited for Furiosa? the animated Madagascar, and Sally Hawkins and Bob Hoskins in Made in Dagenham. Peruvian film from Claudia Losa, this is Made in USA. And Frances McDormand in the children's film Madeline. Great performance from Nigel Hawthorne, The Madness of King George. And written and directed by Peter Mullen, this is the very moving The Magdalene Sisters. Great kung fu action with Sammo Hung in Magnificent Butcher. And the classic The Magnificent Seven with Yul Brynner. I didn't like it at first, but I've warmed to it. This is Antoine Fuqua's remake of The Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington. Lee Van Cleef in The Magnificent Seven Ride. Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia. And Michelle Yeoh, really good fun one this, Magnificent Warriors. Diana Ross in Mahogany, directed by Berry Gordy. And Jim Carrey in Frank Darabont's The Majestic. Charlton Heston and Richard Harris in Major Dundee, directed by Sam Peckinpah. And fun baseball comedy this with Tom Berenger and Martin Sheen, Major League. Excellent movie this from Giuseppe Tornatore, the director of Cinema Paradiso. This is Melina with Monica Bellucci. And Alec Baldwin and Nicole Kidman in Malice. Kevin Smith's Mallrats. And World War II drama Malta Story with Alec Guinness and Jack Hawkins. John Huston's classic The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart. And Jessica Chastain in Andy Muschietti's Mama. Mamma Mia, the movie. Still haven't watched this yet. And James Mason in Carol Reed's The Man Between. Directed by Fred Zinnemann and with a classic performance from Paul Schofield. This is A Man for All Seasons, also with Robert Shaw. William Holden and Glenn Ford in the western The Man from Colorado. And classic Anthony Mann western The Man from Laramie. Australian adventure with Kirk Douglas, The Man from Snowy River. And Guy Ritchie's The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill. Leonardo DiCaprio in the remake of The Man in the Iron Mask. And Denzel Washington and a young Dakota Fanning in Tony Scott's Man on Fire. Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman in Man on the Moon. And Joseph Fiennes and Kristen Scott Thomas in Man to Man. Bill Murray is the man who knew too little, whilst James Stewart is the man who knew too much with Doris Day. Burt Reynolds in the western The Man Who Loved Cat Dancing. And really good movie this, Clifton Webb in The Man Who Never Was, more recently remade as Operation Mincemeat with Colin Firth. Classic western The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And The Man Who Sold His Skin. Love this Coen Brothers movie. This is Billy Bob Thornton in The Man Who Wasn't There. And Sean Connery and Michael Caine really well paired together in John Huston's The Man Who Would Be King, adapted from the Rudyard Kipling novel. Great fun with Steve Martin, The Man with Two Brains. And absolutely fantastic performances from Casey Affleck and Michelle Williams in Manchester by the Sea. John Frankenheimer's classic The Manchurian Candidate. And Idris Elba in Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Nicolas Cage in Mandy, directed by Panos Cosmatos. And great Woody Allen movie, Manhattan. Michael Mann's classic Manhunter with Brian Cox as Hannibal Lecter. And a fun one this, Maniac Cop. As well as Maniac Cop 2. Okay, this is TV, but a great performance from Kate Winslet in Mayor of Easttown. Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette with Kirsten Dunst. Not really a film this, but this is a compilation of Marilyn Monroe singing. Evangelical documentary this on Marjoe Gortner, who was also an actor in films such as Earthquake. Liam Neeson in The Marksman. Sean Connery and Tippi Hedren in Hitchcock's Marnie. Again, this is TV, but yeah, Michael Apted, as well as doing the 7 Up series following people every 7 years, he also looked at married couples, and this is Married in America, Volume 2. Great cast, this one, but I didn't quite like it. This is Marrowbone, George Mackay, Mia Goth is in this, Anya Taylor-Joy. And Alec Baldwin, Kim Basinger in The Marrying Man. Tim Burton's Mars Attacks. A real classic this, great Oscar-winning performance from Ernest Borgnine in Marty. Classic Julie Andrews in Mary Poppins. And Julia Roberts and John Malkovich in Mary Riley, directed by Stephen Frears. And then an 80s TV miniseries, Masada. This is with Peter O'Toole. Okay, I'll leave it there. So please do join me again for the continuing journey of my DVD collection. Yeah, leave any comments that you have. Thanks ever so much for watching. Any comments that you do leave, I do appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying this format. I look forward to seeing you again. Okay, all the best. Bye.